the World Seed Congress. Is it working? Welcome everybody, live from the World Seed Congress in Barcelona. It's the second day. Good morning everyone. And I'm sitting here with Shoshan and Marco. Thank you very much for joining us early in the morning. So I'm Hélène from the ISF Secretariat, and I'm going to discuss today with my guest about the seed resilience. We have a panel later today, which will be moderated by Marcel Bruns. There. Thank you, Marcel. So don't hesitate to join the big panel, but here is to give you a flavor of what to expect in a few hours. So Marco, welcome. Thank you. Can you shortly introduce yourself and who you are? Because many people know you, but it's always good to remind.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Hélène. I'm Marco van Leeuwen, Managing Director at Zwaan. That's a Dutch-based vegetable breeding company. And my second role here is that I'm a first Vice President of ISF.
Thank you, Marco. And we have Shoshan with us. Thank you so much, Shoshan. You've been joining the Congress since a few years now. You're a bit a VIP. Many people know you, but it's always good that you remind who you are.
So I'm Shoshan Haran, the founder and president of Fair Planet. It's an NGO with a mission to bridge the gap between the best seeds in the world and the poorest farmers.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you. So we will come back to the activities of your company and of your NGO in the coming minutes. But first, I would like to start with a reminder why we are here. It's because ISF has taken an important step toward the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and we have really tried to put on the paper what the seed sector is already doing toward the SDGs, and we developed in 2021, last year, a statement of initiative. And a seed declaration which was signed by many companies. So this statement of initiative was really to show that the private sector, with its diversity of family-owned, cooperative, small, medium, large-size companies, recognize and value the contribution of the food system and is willing to contribute to its transformation in assisting farmers to produce more in a sustainable and resilient manner on less land with less input by protecting biodiversity. So many topics are comprised in this statement of initiative, and we will come back to the definition that ISF is giving of the seed resilience. But first, Marco, your company signed this statement of initiative, this seed declaration. So can you tell us a bit more why you wanted to engage in this direction?
Yeah, that's a good question, Hélène. We have been committed to this sector already, of course, for a long time. In our case, 98 years, and we apply modern technologies, coupled that with genetic resources that are available in nature, and we are convinced we have really the tools to solve problems in the world and to contribute to the world food supply. I think our challenge in this whole industry is that we have difficulties to get that message across. So with this seed declaration, and that was basically initiated or derived from our activities around the United Nations Food System Summit in 2021, this declaration basically underlined what we as an industry stand for, what we can contribute, but also what we need from other stakeholders in order to get it done. Because a lot of things we can do ourselves, but in quite some cases we definitely need support from stakeholders and regulators in order to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Marco. And I think ISF, in its new structure, is really committed with the key strategic objective also defined for 21-25. We are really committed to go in this direction. So ISF has been working on its own definition of seed resilience. It's not an easy term. It can be understood in many ways. And the way we understand it at ISF is the adaptability and capacity to contribute to food and nutrition security by making accessible sufficient, diverse, locally adapted, improved high-quality varieties to all farmers, taking into account environmental, health, social, and economic aspects. This is a long definition with many terms, but I think, Shoshan, this resonates to you because Fair Planet that's the mission of Fair Planet. And can you tell us a bit more how you think that you are linked to this definition in your day-to-day work with Fair Planet? And please give us a bit of flavor of what you are doing in Africa, if I'm not wrong.
Thank you, and maybe you can put the slides so you get a flavor of how we do it. So Fair Planet was founded by seed experts who worked many years for the private seed sector, and we felt there is an urgent need to get the best quality seeds to smallholder farmers, starting in Africa, where the problem is the most dramatic nowadays. And the mission includes two phases. First of all, we partnered with 8 of the leading seed companies that all of them are present in this ISF Congress on a pre-competitive collaboration. And we do adaptation trials in Africa using the practices that are accessible and affordable to smallholder farmers. Once we identify the best performing varieties, and we do it in the highest industry standards, doing variety trials and then validation trials and then farmer field trials, and we promote the best performing varieties to the farmers, and then engage in training and capacity building, both of the local extension system from the government, the local government, and training on farm lead farmers in many villages who then transfer the knowledge to the neighbor farmers. And the results are amazing. We started variety trials 10 years ago, but we started the capacity building 5 years ago with the help of many of the Dutch seed companies, the French seed companies, all the leading seed companies in the world. And we started training the local system. We trained in, I'll give you an example in Ethiopia. We trained in 65 different villages, 2,400 lead farmers, who then spread the knowledge to more than 75,000 farmers in the region. And the uptake of quality seeds, uptake I mean by buying the quality seeds, is very, very quick. And you can look at the sales of the seed partners in Ethiopia increasing in 5 years for 10 million seedlings by professional nurseries to more than 240 million seedlings. And these are all hybrid seeds bought by the farmers. But not only we follow the productivity of the farmers and the income, which is tripled, but we also follow the social benefits for the families. And the nutrition is improved dramatically. They eat much more vegetables. Health services are improved 80%. And 96% of the farmers are continuing to buy high-quality seeds post-intervention. So it's a very sustainable intervention. We just bridge the gap. The gap is technology, the seeds, but also the knowledge. And then the farmers become customers of the seed partners. We are not engaged in any commercial activity. We just bridge the knowledge and technology gap.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Shoshan. So you started the project in Ethiopia.
Yes.
And in which country are you now?
So we are in Ethiopia. You know, Ethiopia is very big. We served 75,000 smallholder farmers, but there are about 12 million smallholder farmers in Ethiopia. So there's a lot to be done still in Ethiopia. We are active in Tanzania for 3 years and starting the capacity building phase now, this season. And we are looking into doing similar interventions in Rwanda and in Kenya.
Rwanda and Kenya. Wow.
Yeah.
And did your activities got a bit slowed down because of COVID? How did you leave this for your association?
I'm very glad for this question because as the whole world was really shaken by the pandemic, we were lucky enough that in Ethiopia already we built the local capacity of the trainers to continue training the farmers. And we had a team that was able to do variety trials with us only providing guidance from afar. And in Tanzania, we had only the variety trial phase, and our local staff was able to continue with remote guidance. So we were actually very amazed of the local capacity to continue the activities even without having our staff on the ground.
Great, that's very great, Shoshan, to really get on concrete example how we are trying to, as you said, bridge the gap. So Marco, what does this example inspire you? How do you live it from a European point of view in your company? Can you tell us a bit more about seed system, what your company is trying to do to also, I guess, bridge the gap?
These are a lot of questions, Helene, but I will try to answer as good as I can. Of course, this example of Fair Planet is inspiring, and I think we cannot do enough in this sense. So broadening this initiative, supporting it, making it more known, I think is really crucial. We as a company, in fact, we are active in more than 120 countries, including quite some African countries. And since we are integrated from breeding until sales, basically we have the same ambitions and we do things in the same way. So in the past years, we have started quite some public-private partnerships in countries where indeed we try to find adaptable suited varieties. We couple those with a growing technology. We try to train trainers that can train growers. And basically we are working in the same direction. However, those countries and those target groups, those farmers, they are so huge in size that whatever we do is basically a small drop in the ocean, right? And I think the key is, or the key question is, how can we really create mass and size and a kind of huge multiplier to make bigger contributions? And I would say the frustrating thing is always we have the technology and the knowledge in our hands. So what to do?
What to do? Maybe we need more regulation to help seed companies to go on the ground. Shoshan, I know it's not the first goal of your company, of your NGO, sorry. But are you trying to go on this regulatory side? Are you when you are coming into a country, are you approaching through the minister, I guess?
Yes, so first of all, we were able to streamline the importation of seeds from all our seed partners into the countries. It was not an easy task because importation for experimental trials was not in place, but we have discussed it with the Ministry of Agriculture and made it possible through partnership with leading agricultural university. I'm talking now about Ethiopia. So working together with the knowledge institutes in the countries, and as an NGO, they trust us. It's very easy to approach them, and they enabled the importation for variety trials. So that was a major step forward. What I can tell you more is that when we started our activities in Ethiopia, the federal government was not supportive of introducing high-quality seeds from all over the world because they were afraid of dependency, creating dependency of smallholder farmers with these global companies. But gradually, through inviting them to our fields on the ground and meeting the farmers and the local extension system, we were able to change the mindset of the Ministry of Agriculture. And 2 years ago, just before the pandemic, the Minister of Agriculture from Ethiopia came to one of our open field days in East Ethiopia and supported loudly and clearly the importation and the working with high-quality hybrid seed varieties, because our statement is give the farmers the freedom to choose. You know, a lot of the objection is coming from looking at the farmers from above and taking decisions on their behalf. And the best answer that we were able to give criticizers, and you all know that there is some questions around this intervention, we are telling them, give your farmers the freedom to choose. We are an NGO, we work with many of the seed companies, and we invite others to join. It's an open platform, and we are objective, and we look at the needs of the farmers. That's why they trust us. We do not have any say on what varieties the farmers are choosing. Either it's Reichsvan or any other company, they have the freedom to choose. And we found that this is the best answer for organizations coming from, the big stakeholders, the FAO, the UN, and so on. And the government of Ethiopia changed its policy, and now it's very open, and they are striving to get more and more seed varieties into the country. But I must stress, 80% of our efforts as NGO, 80% of our efforts is capacity building. We train lead farmers on their own farm, so they get confidence in their ability to increase productivity, increase income, and sell their produce. And then the spread is very quick. We found out by objective impact analysis that the spread of technology and knowledge is time 30 for each lead farmer that we train, and we train also the local extension experts. For each lead farmer that we train, 30 adopters. And this is a very quick process, because the benefits of your seeds are so high, and when you train them how to use them, they increase their income. And then we had objective survey analysis done by the Hebrew University on the impact of the social impact. And they asked the farmers, are you continue to using high quality seeds that you need to buy now? And the answer is more than 90% of the neighbor farmers buy the seeds, not the ones that we train directly. Now, then they asked them, what are you using your additional income for? And they said 80% of them are able to provide better health care for the family. 82% are able to send their children to school. Obviously, the nutrition is improved. So the impact is much larger. But we believe on farm. We do it through weekly visits to the farmer's land and teach them from A to Z how to improve productivity and income.
Thank you, Shoshan, for this very in-depth knowledge, and it's very great to see that you have made an assessment with a university on really the social impact of what we are doing, because exactly. That's often what we need to show. We need data, we need a better assessment of how it's going on the ground and how smallholder farmers are benefiting from a working and sustainable seed system. So hearing all that, I'm very happy to have the future president of ISF on board with me. How do you see in the next month, in the next year, or I can see it during your presidency, the role of ISF in this on working toward more resilient system, sustainable seed system? So we have made this declaration in 2021. We have now 8 years before achieving, if I can say, the Sustainable Development Goals. How do you see the role of ISF during your presidency there? Give us a bit of a hint.
I would say it's about what ISF can potentially contribute to this development, and it's not so much about what a president can contribute, but I think it's good to recall that we wrote this statement of initiative with pretty precise actions that we are striving at. One of those actions is setting up a kind of knowledge platform for cases like this, because we need to share a lot of best practices. The other thing that we can do and should do is also finding, for example, in a country like Rwanda, where we can start from scratch, a kind of showcase, a best practice, which we can then amplify all over the world. Yeah. And we just want to be also the partner for a better dialogue here. And I think the role of ISF is to set this into movement, basically, to get this really started. Because I think Shoshan and many of us, we are maybe good in talking and putting things on paper, but it has to happen on the ground, and we have to get things moving. And that is what I also personally would like to get done in the next couple of years, really to make sure that we are going to see concrete actions on the ground.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and indeed that's what we need now at ISF is concrete actions. And you mentioned a few concrete projects, and especially one flagship project that we will have some opportunities to talk about together again. I think, do you have anything you would like to add? Because this is almost the end of our session already. No, you're all fine, or you...
I will just add that Fair Planet is open for other partners, additional partners, to join us. It's a joint mission, and it's for the benefit of everybody. So we invite you to join.
Yes, thank you, Shoshan, and yes.
Yeah, maybe in addition, because I might speak on behalf of a vegetable breeding company, but also here I would like to stress, like Shoshan, what we do is not enough. So we also invite other breeding companies to start breeding specific varieties adapted for emerging markets, for emerging countries, because this is what we need. We cannot do this alone.
Thank you very much for these motivating words, and I encourage you to come to the panel which is happening in a few hours. Shoshan and Marco will also be there, and you will have more opportunities, maybe longer, to share the message from Fair Planet, from ISF and Gran. So thank you very much for having joined us this morning. We hope you enjoyed, and have a great day at the Congress.
Thank you. Thank you very much.